Breaking news edition of Zero Gravity, Apollo Media's NBA podcast. Kevin Durant has been traded again, this time to the Houston Rockets, your Houston Rockets, Josh Garcia. How are we doing on this episode? Breaking news edition of Zero Gravity.
Happy Sunday, first of all. So much going on in the world. Game 7 tonight. We bombed Iran. So much is happening. Not to get too political here, but Jalen Green is off of my team. I'm going through the 5 stages of grief as we speak. I think I'm at number 2 right now. Next is, I believe, is acceptance.
Okay.
But Jalen Green is off my team, and I think that I think somebody on Twitter said it best. They said, we'll give up Dillon Brooks and a 10th pick just to get off of Jalen Green's contract. The fact that we got Kevin Durant out of this whole mix, we can look back on this in a couple of years and say, oh, it's going to be an overpay. And, honestly, it might end up being an overpay, but 1 to 2 more years of competing at that next high level that you might have not been able to obtain with Jalen Green, that's something you can't get back. So I'm all in. I'm excited. Stone, get your jokes off. How are you feeling about this?
Well, we've known this is going to happen over the last 2 weeks or so. Like, Minnesota was a done deal, and KD was like, yeah, I'm not going up there, boys. Like, we're just not going to get cold again. I'm good on being cold unless it's a cool city. Minneapolis, maybe a cool city. I don't know, but he's been there many more times than I have. I've been to the airport, coldest place I've ever been. The airport, Minneapolis, Minnesota. That's terrible. So we've known that KD was either going to end up in Miami or Houston. Houston had the best trade packages available with players, and they had Phoenix's picks and kind of knew it was going to happen, and was trying to take a nap, get ready for Game 7 today. Of all days, Game 7, June 22nd of 2025. Game 7 is happening today. Adam Silver has no balls, none, to make sure that this trade doesn't happen until tomorrow. Like, not having this day just be Game 7. But it also could be good because now the NBA is just going to be the topic for the next week and a half, 3 weeks. I mean, you got free agency happening in 2 weeks. You got the draft coming up this week. You got Game 7 tonight. Now you got KD traded to the Houston Rockets. This is the second time that he's been traded in his career. He's played for, 5 teams now?
Yep, 5.
NBA journeyman Kevin Durant. Welcome to the Houston Rockets.
Nope, I don't know. 50, 40, 90, Mr. Slim Reaper. Slim! I don't know where to begin, man. This is awesome. The fact that Jalen Green is off my team. Look, man, I tried for years to cope, and you know what's going to be funny about all of this is he's going to end up being a really good player in Phoenix. I almost guarantee it. Don't make that face. Don't make that face. Man, he's going to get out of this Rocket situation, and I really think that things are going to look up for him, and maybe it'll be a win-win for everybody involved. He gets off of our team, and he couldn't do much here, and again, we can sit here on inefficiencies and all these things all day, but let's just say he ends up in Phoenix and that awful 1-2 punch of him and Devin Booker. They might have 10 nice games with each other a year. I don't know. I'm trying to be nice to the guy. I really am. That's what it boils down to. Dillon Brooks is really unfortunate too because he had a career season last year, and we knew that he was going to be a part of the mix. So obviously, contract. It would either be him, Jock Landale, or one other person involved in that. If it wasn't directly Dillon Brooks, it's too bad. Dillon Brooks, shout out you. I remember when we signed, I think it was Fred VanVleet and Dillon Brooks in the same day or the same week.
I had lots of laughs that day.
Yep. But here we are competing for an NBA championship, buddy. I can't say we've been able to do this in the past 7 years, and it feels nice. It feels good. At what cost? I don't know. This is that is a lot for Kevin Durant. It's not too much. It's a lot, but it's not too much. However, I think if there was either another first-round pick involved or another young player involved, I would be beside myself upset. But it seems like a good trade for both teams involved. Obviously, Phoenix trying to rebuild. It sucks that they didn't get any more first-round picks. Obviously, the 10th pick is decent. However, we still got one, if not two, of their picks. So I guess everybody goes home happy.
So the official trade is Jalen Green, Dillon Brooks, the number 10 overall draft pick in Wednesday's draft, right?
I think is it really Wednesday? Like right after
25th? Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Which is great. Very excited about that, obviously. And then 5 second-round picks going through 2032. The trade cannot be official until July 6th due to Jalen Green's contract. Objectively, you look at this trade and you're like, that's a lot for 37-year-old Kevin Durant, who only has 1 year left on his contract. Subjectively, Kevin Durant is something that you desperately needed last year in the playoffs. In those 7 games against the Golden State Warriors, Jalen Green gave you one really good game, exceptional game, over 30 points. And then the rest of the wins, he had like 10, 11, 12 points. And the 4 games that you lost, he had under 10 points. Kevin Durant will not be doing that in any way, shape, or form. This now makes your offense a lot better in the closing moments of the fourth quarter, throughout the duration of a game. If Fred VanVleet doesn't have 20 points in him, then like Kevin Durant, hey, can you go get us like 40 tonight? That's definitely on the table now. Amen Thompson, Alperen Sengun's going to learn from Kevin Durant. Like all these guys are going to learn from Kevin Durant, which is a huge blessing to them because Kevin Durant literally only cares about basketball. That's it. This team got a lot better just through doing this trade. You get off of Jalen Green's contract. Dylan Brooks was a good player. He was a culture changer for the Rockets with Ime Udoka and Fred VanVleet coming in there. Like he did help shift the culture, and he helped the team in the best way he could. And I think he had a really good season this past year. They won 50 plus games, and you say sayonara for Kevin Durant. I'd do that 10 times out of 10. I do this trade every day of the week. 5 second round picks is a lot, but it's also like, how many second round picks do you know that have really, really, really made it in the NBA? And it's like, it's Draymond Green and Jokic.
Yeah.
Can you name another second rounder that's just like incredible championship level caliber player? No, I don't think you can. So you take that, and you only gave up 1 first round pick in a draft where most of the players are probably in the top 6. The best players in the draft are top 6. And then after that, you get down to the 10th pick and you don't really know what you're going to get. There's usually one guy later in the lottery that ends up making it and is really good. Like you got Bam Adebayo, you got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, you got some guys, Tyrese Halliburton, Giannis. Like you've got guys that come in that later part of the lottery, but it's not every year. It's maybe every other year, maybe every 2 years.
I have Stone. I'm sorry, but I have something to say about this draft. I think that this draft class is arguably worse than last season's. And I remember last season, everyone was like, "Oh, this draft class stinks."
We hated it.
But then you look back on it, let's just say, with the year of retrospect, and you're like, you know what? You put some of these guys on my team, they're huge difference makers. With, like you said, the top 6. I think the top 6 is really good. Even Trey Johnson, for example, like that's streaky to me. You have guys who are being praised who I feel like in other drafts would be 12 to 14, but they're being 6 or 7 in this draft. But again, comparison is the thief of joy. I just had to get that off my chest. And I think that letting go of a 10th pick in this draft versus other years, like 2022, like 2014, 2016, 2017, etc. It's much different. And hopefully it gives it gives the guys of, we're giving up a lot more value, and maybe I don't want to say the Suns aren't going to hit on that pick or whatever they end up doing with it, but it doesn't hold as much weight, is what I'm trying to say.
Well, the Phoenix Suns did pass on Luka Doncic in the draft that they took DeAndre Ayton. They were asked for several years after drafting Devin Booker. So I don't really trust them to make the right pick at 10. No. So if you're going to give them 10, like, hey, whatever, like we'll be fine. We got Kevin Durant. So I think the Rockets are really, really good. And now we've got a full-blown Texas hate triangle. We're back. We grew up on Dirk versus Duncan versus T-Mac and Yao. Like that's kind of what I put together for the Rockets when we were a lot younger, when I started watching basketball. And now we've got Cooper Flagg versus Wemby versus 37-year-old KD. It's the more things change, the more things stay the same. The 2 best teams are the Spurs and the Mavericks, but not really. Because I think the Rockets are going to be really good. I think they're still going to win 50-plus games. I think Sengun's only going to get better from learning from KD. KD is going to be KD. Fred VanVleet, a lot of the pressure is just off of him because Kevin Durant's on the roster. And Amen Thompson gets another year older. You kept Jabari Smith Jr., who could turn into a really good player that averages like 15 and 8 a game or whatever, hits some threes. Tari Eason's an incredible defender. Like you got some dogs on the team, and now you got Kevin Durant. So I like the team a lot. I think they're going to be a lot of fun to watch, and I can't wait for Texas hate rivalry to be back.
We didn't have to overpay, which is really nice because we look at the trade market, and we're talking 5 first-round picks for Desmond Bane, 5 first-round picks for Rudy Gobert. I mean, it has completely been flipped upon its head. And of course, only one first round pick for Luka Doncic. We can do that
Did
all we
get
want.
Anthony Davis, a top 75 player,
And
top
you
20 player in the NBA. So
not only that, but you got Cooper Flag. So
turns
that's
out.
awesome. I think that's great for you. And Texas hate is back. Stephon Castle, I think, will be the catalyst when it comes to San Antonio Spurs peddling hate outside of their obviously Victor Wembanyama. Shout out Shaolin Monk, Victor Wembanyama. That was such a cool story, man. Oh, that was awesome. He just comes back to Fanatics Fest, just being him, just being himself. I don't think he might have not learned too much out there.
What I've learned from this week is that I need to go to Fanatics Fest next year. Kevin Durant is literally on the stage with the microphone in his hand, sitting in a chair as he is getting traded to the Houston Rockets. The crowd is like, KD, you just got traded. And they're like, I guess we got a trade to talk about. Like all of these things. And I don't even think he can talk about it until the trade's actually official. So like, I don't know if he's
silent.
Yeah, he can't say anything until July 6th when his trade is actually finalized. And it's funny. He's on his 5th team. He's a 2-time NBA Finals MVP, 2-time champ. One of the best scorers that we've ever seen. Probably one of the purest scorers we've ever seen in this game. Top, I don't know, call it 20 player of all time. And he's maybe for one last ride going to end his time back in Texas, right where it began, where he was in college in Texas.
I have a
no state tax, by the way.
And there it is, no state tax. I have a quick anecdote about Kevin Durant's career that I got to witness very early on. I was at a Toyota Center, and Texas versus LSU was happening. It was right before the Big 12 championship. I want to say it was like kind of the back end of the season. Of course, conference play, or maybe it wasn't conference play. Anyway, Kevin Durant had this weird, and of course he still does this to this day. Almost 20 years later. He was hitting these weird pull-up middies, and he just looked so pure. And I really think in that point, I was probably 5 years old. This was 2006. At that point, I was like, this is what basketball is all about. I want to say that moments like that was what completely got me into basketball, and it feels almost like a weird vindication that all these years later, Kevin Durant, hopefully, odds are, gets to finish his career where I got to see him for the first time. I think that was my probably one of my first basketball games I ever went to. It was just on a random weekday or something like that. It was cool.
And Josh, I think our breed of basketball fan is slowly dying with the social media age and the blackout restrictions of being able to actually watch basketball. Like when we were growing up, we just watched basketball because it was on TV. Obviously, you're rooting for the Rockets. I'm rooting for the Mavs. Like you've got your guys. I've got Dirk. Like those are your guys. But you're also watching the rest of the league, and you're watching like the young Thunder team, KD, Russ, Harden. You're watching Tim Duncan. You're watching Kobe. You're watching those KG Celtics. You're watching Dwight Howard. Like there's just dudes all over the league, and there still is. But I think that brand of basketball is dying where people just don't appreciate everybody else, and it's their guy versus everybody else. Like the Kyrie stands that are in Dallas now, it's like they only want Kyrie to do well. They don't care what happens to the team. Like it's not as fun, but you just had dudes everywhere, and we were able to appreciate greatness watching it when we were younger. And now you get to have one of those legends, one of those guys that you were watching when you were younger on your team. And I fantasized about it for 2 seasons now with LeBron coming to Dallas. I was like, Kyrie, Luka, LeBron, like it's going to be sick. And then all of a sudden we trade Luka to LA to be with LeBron. And like having one of your childhood, just like favorite players, essentially, one of our favorite players to watch growing up, and getting him on your team, even if it's the later stage of his career, he's 37 years old. He still put up almost 27 points a game on a terrible Phoenix team last year and was still Kevin Durant, like 50, 40, 90. Like he said, he's still Kevin Durant and he gets to play on your team. And I think that's really special for certain organizations. Like the Lakers, no, that doesn't count. You get every superstar whenever you want. Like the Celtics have had dozens of superstars. Like the Miami Heat, they can get a superstar almost whenever they want, unless Pat Riley gets in the way of that, like Damian Lillard a couple of years ago. Like there's only certain teams that just get superstars in free agency or these trades. And now you're a part of that kind of forefront now. You get Kevin Durant on the Houston Rockets. And I think that's really fun for you guys. Not as much for me because I don't really want to play Kevin Durant. I'm not
4 times a year. Nah.
Yeah, not super excited. But if we can get a playoff series out of it.
Oh my goodness, that
it would tear this podcast apart, but I would love
that would rock. I thought we were going to almost get it before, of course, the Luka trade, and I know close. That we're getting close there for a minute. We were like, hey, 2-7, hey, anything's possible. But
He's right
I
there.
think more than anything else, like you mentioned, I mean, the fandom in the way in which we watch basketball is obviously changing, and not to sound like the one friend that's too woke or whatever, but it all delves down to like individualism in America and how everyone's kind of just doing their own thing all the time. People are always sensing and yearning for a feeling of community, and people get that in sports a lot. That's why we watch sports, like talk shit, shoot shit with anybody and anything. And it's just not like that anymore. So it's good to get. It almost feels in a way, and again, not to get too into it, but it feels like one last ride of your adolescence. KD coming to the Rockets. Just I don't know. It feels right. Of course, the circumstances are totally different and not perfect in the way that I want them to be, but they're good, and you got to live with that. I think probably the second or third most important thing here as well is who's starting in your lineup here is Amen Thompson. There is no six man Amen Thompson. I remember at the beginning of last season we were like, or I at least said that Amen Thompson had a running for six man of the year, and of course he got hurt and everything, but he's gonna start on my team next season alongside Kevin Durant, alongside Alperen Sengun, Jabari Smith Jr., and Fred VanVleet. I mean, are we gonna take the Thunder leap? All signs are pointing yes.
The Thunder leap is they did win 68 wins this year.
Well, I'm saying 60, around 60. We'll call it there. Like last season Thunder leap.
Okay, let's walk through the roster real quick because your starting five is great. I like your starting five. Like it a lot. Spacing is a little bit of an issue with that starting five.
It was worse with Jalen Green. Yep.
Yeah, Amen Thompson doesn't shoot jump shots yet. Alperen Sengun, you kind of never know what you're going to get jump shot wise from him night in and night out. It could be really good. It could be not good. Fred VanVleet, kind of the same thing. And then Jabari, if that's your five, or are you going to start Reed Shepherd, be a little bit smaller, play a little bit faster? That's you get more Reed Shepherd minutes this year. You're going to have to.
Yep.
You're going to have to. But it's him and Tari Eason coming off the bench, Steven Adams. I mean, who else are you rolling out there? We just named 8 guys.
Are we getting Cam Whitmore minutes this season? Are we getting 12 Cam Whitmore minutes a game this season, or what's going on? I'm really surprised he wasn't a shoe-in for to complete off that trade. Yeah. Maybe like 2 less second round picks, or maybe no second round picks at all, and just add Cam Whitmore. I don't know, but
when you're talking about an Oklahoma City Thunder jump, you need 12 guys. Just go out there and ball out. You don't need them, but it makes it a lot easier.
I think that there's 9 guys on our basketball team that are better than Cason Wallace. Okay, so let's start there. And when you say there's 12 guys, I mean Aaron Wiggins. There's 10
regular
guys
season wise. We got to think about regular season.
Sure. I'm just saying. I think that the Thunder are very well rounded, and of course we'll all really figure out what's going to happen in about, what time is it now? It's 12:30, and we'll figure out in about 10 hours what's really going on with that Thunder team. And they go into this series, and let's say they choke a 3-2 lead with how this team has been perceived this season and how everyone's been talking about them. And not to delve too deep into finals talk, we'll save that for later. But I don't know. The NBA feels wide open. Look, the Pacers are on the cusp of winning a championship as a 5 seed. Like this is cool.
Yeah,
it's good for the league. That's what I'm trying to say.
And I do think the West is still fairly wide open. Like OKC, I think, can still lose to, like, they almost lost to the Nuggets. They went to 7 games against the Nuggets that had literally just Jokic.
Yep.
Murray wasn't there except for like 2 games. I mean, Aaron Gordon was playing on half a leg. Michael Porter Jr. just did not exist and had a diaper on his shoulder. Like, people forget.
Yep.
And Minnesota could get better. They could make a trade. Rudy Gobert, Julius Randle, they could do some things this offseason if someone's unhappy that we don't know about. If Giannis just like, I'll go from one northern team to another, and it's fine. It's still cold.
Giannis as a Timberwolf would be so sick. I wonder what that trade
Giannis and Ant like on that. It'd have to be Gobert and like every pick that they
Gobert, Dilly, 5 first-round picks, and 2 other people.
Have that anymore after the Cat and Randall and Gobert trades. Like, I don't know what they got out of the Cat trade. I can't remember, but it was definitely picks.
No.
So
I think it was 2, if not 3.
Yeah, you can throw those in there. Whatever. If Giannis asks out, I don't think he's leaving.
It makes you wonder, going back to what we were originally talking about, of course, the Phoenix Suns. It makes you wonder what their situation is going to look like over the next 5 years. It's either going to be really grim, or you're going to see some shades of light. I don't think the Ishbia clan will be too happy with the results either way.
When was the last time we had a star? I'm not going to call him a superstar, but want to stay with a team for the rest of his career that wasn't like in a championship type window for a majority of his career? Because we had 2 really good years from the Phoenix Suns and Devin Booker. You had Chris Paul, DeAndre Ayton. He had those guys, Mikal Bridges.
People who just suffer for the rest of their career. I don't know.
Like, is he just going to still want to be that one team career guy, or because he is a Kobe guy? I know he thinks about that. And
well, you have guys who will say, "Oh, I
that?
want to spend the rest of my career here," but of course, those championship windows are open when they say that. I want to say almost Carmelo with the Nuggets, but even their championship window was, it was around. It wasn't closed. So
yeah,
I don't know.
It's like I don't know if there is another one. Like D Wade would have been one, but he won one in like year 3. Like D Wade won year 3, so it's like that doesn't count.
Perfect example. Pat Connaughton taking his $9.6 million player.
Dwight Powell also taking his player option for this year.
Yep, to stay with the Bucks.
Like 4 and a half. Not a big deal, just to be the guy in the locker room. Love Dwight Powell.
Go.
I saw his jersey yesterday. I went to the American Airlines Center. They had a big Mavs sale up to 75% off. I was like, let's just go check it out, see what we can get. I'm excited again. I got Cooper Flag coming. Got a good team. I'm excited. We're going to make a trade. We need a point guard. Walked in there, and I saw the Dwight Powell jersey. And I thought about it long and hard. I stared at it for a while. I was like, you know what? Longest tenured Mav. I might do it. And I didn't. I knew I couldn't do it. So Dwight Powell is not in the jersey collection. So we'll keep him away from that. Yeah.
Well, here's a guy who can just give his all to a whole city.
Here's a guy.
That's awesome.
Slide in. Yeah, but Kevin Durant, he's a Houston Rocket. Good for you, bud.
Yep, that's right. Texas Hate is back. We get to see you all 4 times a year. Let's, don't forget to have fun out there. That's what it all boils down to. Kevin Durant at Toyota Center for, God willing, 40+ games a season. Electricity, top to bottom. I'm so excited.
I think that's one thing that me and the other guys at Apollo were talking about, because they're not big Rockets fans like Josh, Dez, all the other ones. Like we've got our Summit State of Mind, we've got DJ, we've got you, we've got Sheldon. Like we got Rockets fans, just hardcore Rockets fans. But we've got Josh and Dez, who they are baseball fans at their core. They're Astros fans, they're baseball fans. That comes first. Football is next. And they're looking at the Rockets, they're like, you got a playoff game. Why are people not going to this? Like, this doesn't make sense. And I think it's a NBA superstar, new generation fan kind of thing. It's like they follow the superstars, they follow their players, and they may not be in that same city, whatever it is. But the Rockets didn't have like a super duper star on their team. Like Şengün was great. Jalen Green was supposed to be great. Didn't happen. You won 52 games. You're 2 seed. You got Golden State trying to beat off some demons, and it just didn't work. It didn't work, And now you get Kevin Durant, and I think you're going to sell out a lot of games. I think there's going to be a lot of excitement. There's going to be a lot of either 7 or 35 jerseys in the crowd. Christian Wood jerseys are going to be turned into Kevin Durant jerseys with duct tape on the back now.
Yes.
People forget Christian Wood, Rockets and Mavs legend.
Oh, that baby blue. That was the year we did the baby blue jerseys. Oh, my goodness. I'm going to find one at the thrift store. Oh, my God. Thank you.
That's a good one. And then just duct tape it on the back and put Durant. If he wears 35. If he wears 7, you're fucked. But that's Cam Whitmore's number, correct? Is he going to buy it off?
Yeah, Cam Whitmore 7, but he'll give it up. He'll give it up.
But does he want it? Maybe he just goes back to he's been 35.
Cam Whitmore doesn't want to be here, first of all. Kevin Durant will.
Neither did Jalen Green, by the way. He asked for a trade. Just BT dubs for the listeners out there through sources. He did ask for a trade post Game 7.
Yeah, I guess we can say that now. So
yeah,
it is what it is. We're here. And I will be turning that baby blue Christian Wood alternate jersey into a Kevin Durant jersey. I cannot wait. I'm going to be that one big dude in the stands who wears a jersey with no undershirt, just straight body out.
Attaboy. Yeah, I think you could figure out how to peel the wood off of it too and go get it re-stamped with Durant for $25 or whatever. I think you could probably figure that out.
Okay, you got some good ideas going on in the cranium.
I'm just helping you out get a cheap jersey,
That's right. I'm cheap, buddy.
Thrifting it all the way. I don't think I can purchase a Cooper Flag jersey. I'm 11 years older than him.
Oh, that's too bad. Damn, 11.
He's 18, dude.
Oh no. Oh, man.
It's like I really want to. That 32 is gonna look really nice on that vintage green throwback
Mhm.
Mavs jersey that we got
Mhm.
coming next year. I don't think I could do it.
Damn, damn.
I think I just
Well,
gotta rock Kyrie.
you gotta let him prove himself.
That too. That
Let
too.
him become 20 years old and then purchase the jersey.
Yeah. I did buy a Derek Lively jersey last year though, so
That's awesome.
it's the finals
Did
one. I
the finals
had to
patch,
do it.
yeah.
Had to do it.
Man, I can't wait to get
Okay.
a finals patch jersey at a thrift store eventually. 5, 10 years, God willing.
Yeah, maybe one day, But Kevin Durant, he's a Houston Rocket. Shout out to Summit State of Mind, our Rockets podcast. They're going to be here later tonight, breaking it down much more than we did. We just had initial reactions. You had to hop on immediately and talk about it, but make sure to tune into Summit State of Mind. They're going to give you the full debrief on the Rockets fandom side. I know we had a little bit of it, but they're gonna give it to you. They're going to give it to you real good. It's going to be good. Kevin Durant, Houston Rocket. Thank you to our sponsors, J Bar M. J Bar M Barbecue is just a couple blocks away from Toyota Center. Now it's going to be popping J Bar M. It's going to be your pregame spot next year come October. Free parking, great drinks, and the best barbecue in Houston at J Bar M Barbecue. Shout out to Zing Zang, America's #1 Bloody Mary mix. We love Zing Zang. Zang responsibly. Have a Zing Zang on us, for celebrating Kevin Durant if you're a Rockets fan. It's going to be fun. It's going to be enjoyable for you guys. Shout out to Zing Zang. Shout out to J Bar M Barbecue. Shout out to Big City Wings, Houston's Wing Joint, Apollo's Wing Joint. And we'll be back tonight. Me and Sheldon are going to hop on post Game 7 of the NBA Finals, talk about that, recap that. We'll get his Kevin Durant thoughts as well as a Rockets fan. And then we got the draft this week, so we'll be back later this week. We're going to have 3 episodes in 1 week. Zero gravity, not a big deal.
That's right.
People forget, but Zero Gravity, Power Media's NBA podcast. We'll be back very, 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 very soon with another episode. Tonight, actually, after Game 7. See you guys later.